Yun guys, so ito, papasok kami sa career con and basically I'll have a talk here about tier 1 and ano yung mga career opportunities na possible. And usually yung audience na nandito parang mga taong gusto mag-shift ng careers. And I know for a fact na kung gusto mo mag-change ng career, alam ko mahirap siya. Kasi if you spent like 10 years, 5 years in an industry, ang hirap naman na sumugal na naman sa isang bagong industry na hindi mo naman alam kung magiging successful, right? So because of that, I want to be able to convince those possible professionals na mag-work din sa amin. Kasi I feel like mas maraming professionals na nagtatrabaho sa Tier 1, mas maraming opportunities, mas pulido yung mga bagay. And yes, I want to encourage the gamers na gustong magtrabaho sa amin. Pero at the same time, we have to acknowledge the fact na kailangan natin ng professionals sa industriya na to. And hopefully, may isa o dalawang tao dito na mahanap namin na makapagtrabaho sa amin, di ba? Yun lang naman guys. Yun natin. I pursued events organizing after I graduated. What happened was we were organizing events back in 2011 up until 2016. We started from computer cafes, eventually got into malls, eventually got into convention centers, and eventually the MOA Arena. So in 2016, we were able to fill up the MOA Arena with 18,000 people across 6 days. We booked Sofitel for we booked 256 hotels in Sofitel, and we brought in 15 international teams plus one Filipino team. From there, I realized that it's about time to create a talent agency. Why? Because if you're into esports organizing or events organizing in general, if the market got to a point where filling up an arena is the standard, it's going to be hard for a company to host numerous events a year. Probably the most you can do is like twice per year or once per year. So because of that, we felt that the market is ripe. We made a talent agency focused on creating digital content and creating the next generation of esports stars. So from there, the idea is we develop the gaming stars of this generation and we find the right advertisers for them. The first approach is we get the authentic gamers and teach them how to market themselves. Because as you know, most gamers, the typical gamer that you know are, the ones na nakachinelas, na you don't know how to market themselves, na parang geek at home. Like that's the usual typical gamer back in 2016. So we needed to change their looks, change how they speak, parang just teach them how to market themselves. Secondly is we get the celebrities who play games and teach them how to market themselves in the gaming community. And that's the reason why you see Christian Bautista streaming, you have Eric Eruption streaming, you have Megan Young streaming. A lot of other celebrities are now into streaming, and we're actually working with Star Magic on July 28th. So there's going to be like a collab between Tier 1 talents and Star Magic talents happening on on July 28th. So I'm here to talk about the shift in careers. So who here want to shift careers? Can you raise your hand? Okay. So can I ask like one? I'm allowed to ask on one hand, right? Like, is there one person here? Like, I'll give you a shirt for a compensation. Like, who can share like a story of why you want to shift a career? Like short lang, like one sentence or two. Oh, you? Sige, let me go. Sige, why do you want to shift careers?
I did want to shift career because I wanted to try a different industry and I wanted to see how versatile I am. So yeah.
What's your current career industry?
I used to work in an IT company and then I shifted to a real estate company.
Okay.
So it's basically different.
Totally different.
Yeah, totally different.
Okay, thank you. So just to give you an overview of the types of people that we hired that shifted their careers from different industries, we got an OP, an OM, an operations manager that has 15 years of experience in BPO, who shifted his career to us, and he is now managing 5 people, actually a Dota 2 team. So that's the type of shift that happened in our company, and he's paying the same amount. He's still paid the same amount as with the BPO company that he previously worked for. So if you have an idea of how much an OM earns, that's how much our team manager earns. Another example is like the general manager of Sports Illustrated is now head of partnerships in our company. So technically that's another one. And then thirdly, there was our finance officer who handles our streamers came from JP Morgan. Last one is probably like a videographer who also edits the videos for us came from ABS-CBN. So basically, the type of people that we're getting are professionals from different industries, and we feel like in building a company like Tier 1, it's very important that we find people like you. People who are professionals, people who have been in different industries, and from there, we'll see a lot of magic happening because like a lot of the things that we do are structured, but at the same time, it's very important to have insights from different industries because it usually helps. One last example is that the OM person that we got from the BPO, he has a lot of like call reviews that he does for call center agents. And what we learned from that is he now records every communication, every recordings of the communication of our Dota 2 players. So for each game, he records all of their communication and then reviews them and has like a 1v1 review for each of the players. So why is that important? Because the Dota 2 prize pool for this year is just 1 billion pesos. So just for you to have an idea why we're investing so much in Dota 2. So the typical work issues that I get whenever I get interviews from different industries, basically they say non-flexible hours, they're paid by the hour, and lastly, it's the transportation. I'm sure because I myself came from a corporate job, and I know how hard it is to be working in Manila and going through all of the MRTs and whatnot. But basically, those are the problems that the traditional careers offer. In esports, you have flexible hours. You are paid for your output. The ability to work online, and yes, we allow people to play games. So basically, we have a lot of OKRs and quality assessments. We have OKRs, we have different KPIs for each of our departments to make sure that even though they play games, they're still doing their job. And Tier 1 is basically a company that has a venture capitalist. And our target for last year, 2018, we were able to get probably like 200% of our target. So, I mean, on the big picture, we know for a fact that we're doing our job well. And we started from 8 and now we're at 68 people working full time in our company. So, I mean, it's a different culture, but we feel that it's working. And next is, what are the type of opportunities that you have for a company like Tier 1? Well, first, when we started this, we wanted to, of course, look for gaming talents. And you're not here to become gaming talents for sure. You want to help out on the back end. But basically, just to share with you the vision, we want to expand opportunities for gaming talents, find them gigs, get them into ABS-CBNs, into inquiries, into Rapplers, like mainstream content, and at the same time, find advertisers that are willing to spend on these influencers. So, in the past year, we got Dove, Mountain Dew, Pepsi, we now have San Miguel. So, a lot of like big companies are now working with us and with their talents. And lastly, we want to take over Southeast Asia. I, for one, is a believer of Filipino workers. I believe in, I traveled around the world already. I grew up in Japan myself. And I know for a fact that Filipinos are really great at what we do. That's one. And secondly is we really speak good English compared to other countries. So a company based in the Philippines that's handling Southeast Asia is not so hard to think about because I mean, in communicating with different countries, it's always important to be able to speak in English. And I'm confident that we can base this company in the Philippines mainly and find the talents across Southeast Asia. Lastly, in starting your esports career, the first step is to think about what do you want to be. We don't know. Maybe one of you, maybe someone beside you is willing to take a shift to become a pro player. And the prize pool, they get the majority percentage of the prizes. So for the international alone, Dota 2, it has $1 billion in prize pool, but there's 10 more tournaments that has at least $1 million in prizes. And I just came from Malaysia yesterday. They just announced that Mobile Legends will have 13 million pesos in prize pool on November. So they have a world championship. Yes, Mobile Legends will have 13 million pesos in prize. Lastly, you might want to work on the back end, right? So what do we need? What do you need in order to work with us? First, you need skill and experience. Like, as much as we're a growing company, we don't have the capability to train the regular things that we need from an employee. Basically, you need to be someone from maybe an ABS-CBN or a Rappler or like different companies that already basically you need an expertise. And also, you need to be able to be structured. You need to know how to schedule yourself, because since we have flexible working hours, we need people with initiatives and at the same time are very responsible with the time that they with their time generally. And then lastly, you need to understand the program, like how what esports is. Like shifting careers, I know is exciting, but at the same time, there's so much research that you have to do when you get to gaming, because it's a whole different world. So, just in case any one of you is interested in becoming a pro player, you need passion, dedication, skill, and the important part here is the right management. And this is gonna fall on the people that are gonna be working with us. When you talk about the right management, we need the people who are basically, to put it in a very short term, we need adults. Because all of those talents are kids. They are technically from 18 to 25-year-olds who are millionaires. So imagine, you need to be able to guide them with with life in general. It's not just about their in-game skills. It's not just about their interpersonal communication skills. It's about teaching them on how to be better people. And I think that's what's important. And basically, we have two types of talents because, like I mentioned, we handle pro players, but we also handle entertainers in a sense. So they're called streamers. So they stream games online, on Twitch, on Facebook Gaming, on different platforms, and they have their own audiences. So basically, for each talent, they have their own channel that they handle. And we have two types of talents there. The ones we call Amplify and then Tier 1. For the Tier 1 talents, we provide them with everything. We get them condominium units, we pay the rentals, we pay the bills, the internet, the electricity, the water, everything so that they don't have to think of anything else. But in exchange, of course, we get a percentage of their earnings. And then for Amplify, it's basically like just being an agent to different talents. So out of the 150, only 10 are tier 1 talents. So those are the people we provide everything to, while the other 150 are the ones we become agents to. Why? Because it would be very expensive to house 150 talents in different condominium units in the Philippines. Like, once we have the resources, we might do that, but we're not there yet. Well, anyway, in terms of like career opportunities, this is, I think, this is what you're waiting for, basically. What are the type of expertise that you need? Finance. There's a lot of money going in and money going out in our company. So it's very important to get experts from usually we get from the field of, from the banking industry. Usually we get people from the banking industry because they're very fast and they know how, like all the rules of finance work. So we have accountants, we have different people with finance backgrounds that are working with us. Next is sales. These are the people that are hardest to find. But basically for the sales people, once we get them, they get commissions from all of the deals that they book for the talents. And basically from commissions alone, they get at least a 6-figure commission per quarter, at least. That's the range of income that our salespeople get. So if we're talking about income in general, that's the highest paid people we have on the back end, the salespeople. Uh, and then the next one is content creation. Of course, your video editors, your graphic designers, your writers. With all of the talents that we have, everything is about content. We need to be able to produce a lot of content with media platforms, with their own channels, seeding it in different websites and all. But basically, what I'm doing here right now is already content because, for example, my videographer here who flies with me in different countries and just videographs, like videotapes everything I do, I put out it on YouTube. That gets 20, 30,000 views. It's not important to me I do that because I don't want to get followers, but I want to be able to get the attention of leaders. So basically, by doing that YouTube channel, I get to tap like people who are interested in the company and in our industry. So for example, the OM that I mentioned, he commented on my YouTube channel like his solution to improving my team, and then we hired him from there. So yeah. Next is broadcasting. So we also handle the biggest broadcasting for Dota 2 in the country, which is called Wombo X Combo. Basically, they cover all of the Dota 2 events in the world 24/7. So think of this as like the basketball TV of the Philippines, and they do it in Tagalog. So they just cover it daily. So of course, you need broadcast directors, you need like technical directors, a lot of like all the back end stuff that you need. And lastly, it's not just us. Like there are also other companies in the industry, Brent Esports, Rayas, Mineski, and the likes. But we're the only talent agency so far in Southeast Asia, and we're not stopping. And if you're not and if you are interested in working with us, may it be from you may come from different industries. And yes, we have our own organizational structure. My college background is all about organizational communication developments and all that. So yes, there might be job openings here in our booth, and you might be interested in those job openings, but if you think that you can help us, we can actually create a position specific for you, because this is something that we might need that I don't know. Like, I don't know how other companies are structured, and basically, if you think that you can help us, just let us know. Thank you. Yun, so kakatapos na ng talk ko, pero papakita ko muna sa inyo kung anong mga nagaganap dito. Ayan, nandito si Tin at saka si Leandro. So basically, nag-i-interview sila hindi naman nag-i-interview, parang entertain lang sila ng mga taong gusto mag-apply. At dahil dyan, pag nag-apply ka, makakuha ka ng special poster. Hindi, joke lang. Parang ano lang to, brochure. So basically, nakalagay send your resume. Binibigyan nyo rin to. May binibigay kami sticker tsaka poster. So yun. So available positions are talent manager, campaign manager, sales executive, video editor, videographer, and social media manager. Tapos nakalagay din dyan yung yan, career vision namin and all. So yun. Hindi ko lang alam kung may makukuha nga kami dito, pero ayun, at least exciting. Nakita nyo yung si Alode nandiyan. Nga. Ayan siya. So yun lang. Nilagay lang namin siya dyan para at least malaman agad ng tao. Kasi alam naman natin, si Alode, kilala talaga siya. Yung hindi ko lang nasabi na part dito kanina, naaliw ako kasi kanina dito sa buong linya na to, pakita mo yung linya na yun, may naging interview dyan kanina ng sobrang dami. Ano ba yung nangyari doon? Kasi hindi ko nabutan. Paano siya? Paano yung setup?
Merong pinili yung caliber na 12 qualified applicants para dun sa position. Kasi yung batch 1, mga creatives, mga multimedia, gano'n. Tapos yung second batch is yung...
So parang sala na yun? Filtered na?
Yes, filtered na. Sila yung mga best applicants.
Tapos dito mo in-interview?
Yes.
Parang speed applying?
Oo, parang siya speed applying. Meron lang silang 3 to 4 minutes para ma-interview.
Mag-pitch ng sarili nila. Meron naman tayong parang interesting na marami. Yun lang, so kami mismo, first time rin namin umattend sa ganitong type ng event. Pero it's fun. Tapos at the same time, pag pupunta ka pala dito, you have to pay 800 pesos. So that goes to show na yung mga pumupunta dito, seryoso talaga. I mean, marami kasi ako nakikitang comments sa Facebook namin na nag-send na ako ng resume tapos no reply. Imagine, we're getting probably 100 to 200 inquiries per day. And syempre, kahit na gusto namin kayong sagutin lahat, meron din namang ibang ginagawa yung recruitment namin. So, because of that, actually sa mga gantong type ng event, natin makikita kung sino talaga yung seryoso. Kasi una, pupunta ka, magdadala kang resume, magbabayad ka pa. Tapos kanina, meron parang interview process, di ba? I mean, syempre, kung kayo yung nag-a-apply, kahit paano dapat meron rin tayong parang urgency na kailangan ko rin gumalaw, kailangan ko mag-effort, kailangan kong impress yung gustong mag-hire sa akin. Kasi in reality, pag nakuha ka naman, you're getting a salary, you have an opportunity to grow, marami naman pwedeng mangyari sa'yo. Kahit di ka magstay sa amin, at least may natutunan ka, or at least, di ba, it's an experience. So, overall sa akin, sa mga gusto mag-apply sa Tier 1, effort, yung number 1. Sumunod, kailangan mo rin talaga ng skills, like a certain expertise. Ikaw, ano bang hinahanap mo? Kasi siya yung nag-filter.
Siyempre, kailangan kasi pasok talaga siya sa Tier 1 eh. Lalo na yung pakikisama.
Yun. So yun, culturally fit, napaka-important rin yan na parang yung ugali. Siyempre, attitude, parang greater than skills pa rin. Same lang sa paghanap namin sa talents and players. Yun lang guys, this is it for CareerCon 2019.